Well, good evening, class. Today is July 10th, and this is module number 7 over chapter 7, Emotions and Communication. Since the last time we chatted, we've had two things. One was the exam, and the other is the 4th of July. Before I talk a little bit about the exam, I hope everyone had a wonderful 4th of July. Did lots of American things, ate some hamburgers, watched some fireworks. I know I had a wonderful 4th of July. As far as the exam is concerned, the scores will be posted at some point tomorrow afternoon, if not tomorrow evening. Although I have posted the key, so if you wish to grade your exam before I get the grade posted up there, you can do that. But they'll be posted at some point tomorrow. So, let's get down to chapter 7. Alright. First thing the book talks about is emotional intelligence, and this is more or less defined as the ability to recognize the emotions of others and figure out the best way to deal with those, respond appropriately to those. Some ways I'd kind of disagree with this, the book in this, and there's a lot of research on emotional intelligence, and I would suggest that there's certain times where giving the most appropriate reaction may not be the best reaction. So, if somebody's using their emotions or their feelings against you, make you feel guilty, maybe responding to those emotions is not the best way to deal with that. So, take what the book says. That's beyond the scope of the class, but just keep in mind what emotional intelligence is and kind of how it's used in communication. So let's talk about some qualities of emotional intelligence. Being aware of your feelings, so it's both being aware of others, but also being aware of your own. Dealing with emotions without being overcome by them. Not letting setbacks disappoint you and derail you. Channeling your feelings to assist you in achieving your goals, and being able to understand how others feel. That's kind of what most people think about emotional intelligence is the idea of being able to understand what other people are feeling. And you probably have friends who have this really, they always understand other people, they're people, I guess you would call them. And then there's the people that don't really deal as well with people. I'm probably one of those. But anyway, that's what emotional intelligence is. Then it goes on to explain some more things. Also listening to the feelings of those and having a strong yet realistic sense of optimism. I don't know about those last two, but just keep in mind what emotional intelligence is. Generally the idea of understanding what other people's emotions are and respond to them appropriately. Throughout this PowerPoint, you're going to see Let's Watch Some Emotion. I usually show kind of some emotional, some movie clips that have some emotional elements to them. Can't really do that in the online class. But next time you're watching a movie, kind of think about what emotions are being displayed in them, and that's kind of what I do. The definition of emotions is our experience and interpretation of internal sensations as they are shaped by physiology, perceptions, language, and social experiences. So we're going to see here, as this PowerPoint slide goes on, a number of different ways that emotions are described in a kind of a graphical way. So one way is that there's a stimulus, there's a response, and then that's the emotion. So this is kind of a more simplistic way. And then there's a perception that there's an external event. You have a different perception of it, and this kind of deals with different people. There's going to be one thing that happened, but there's multiple perceptions of that, and then there could be multiple interpretations of that, and then there's a response. This is kind of what I get when I talk about there being different ideas about what emotional intelligence is. And then another way is that there's an external event, there's a response, and then you kind of describe that response, and then there's an emotion. So, and then the last way is, this is kind of the most, there's a certain level of feelings, then there's an emotional expression responding to those feelings. So just keep in mind there's a lot of different ways that emotions are described in communication, and the way they describe it kind of deals with both how it's defined and how we talk about those things. So this is kind of the other thing I was talking about with emotional intelligence. Sometimes we may not express emotions, so maybe you have a feeling but you don't express it. So sometimes social expectations, like it's not socially acceptable sometimes to be, to brag, and you may be very proud of what you've done, but you don't express that pride as much as you would, because it's not socially acceptable for you to do that. Vulnerability, if expressing that emotion make you vulnerable to others, you may not do that. Certain people, I don't talk about certain things with them because they take advantage of those, of what if I tell them that. Protecting others. So if you know somebody who's not feeling well, or is upset about something, you may not unload your own problems on them. And then social and professional roles. So maybe you have work friends and you don't share things with them just because it's not anyone's business. I use that phrase a lot. I say it's not anyone's business rather than saying it's not their business. But so there's certain work responsibilities that if you don't share everything with your coworkers, or maybe you do, but you shouldn't. But that's another issue. So ineffective emotional expression. Speaking in generalities, not everyone has the same emotional responses. Counterfeit emotional language, so saying things you don't really mean, and then not owning your feelings. I mean, I remember I had a high school teacher that told me, you're responsible for how you feel. So if you feel something, you have to own that. And as usual, the book gives you some guidelines for communicating emotions effectively. Number one, identify the emotions, so describe them. Choose how you want to express the emotions, so maybe it's not okay to express whatever emotion you have. And then when people are expressing emotions to you, respond sensitively, because in some ways you have control over your emotions, but in other ways you don't. So you have a certain amount of control, but there's a certain amount that you don't control. So respond sensitively. So there's a couple of things that the last two slides talk about is the rational emotive approach, and I'll let you look at those. They describe pretty effectively in the book. Some common fallacies, and I like this slide. The common fallacies about emotions. I kind of like these. We overgeneralize emotions. Obsess about shoulds. I should have done this. I should have felt this way. When there's nothing you can do about it. Helplessness. You kind of feel like you don't have any control over your emotions. And then the biggest one that I like to think about is taking responsibility for others. A lot of times we think we are responsible for other people's emotions, and that makes us feel guilty if somebody's upset with us. And one of the things I've found is that if you're, and this is not at all communication research, but my own little, I guess, the way I've found things. If you allow people to, if you say if somebody's upset with you and you take responsibility for that, if you don't respond to their being upset with you, then at some point they decide that being upset with you doesn't do any good, so they stop being upset with you. So I've found if people get upset with me for whatever I've done or haven't done or should have done, allowing them to be upset with me, it reinforces it and becoming more upset rather than dealing with it. So don't let people be upset with you. I guess this is my own little life advice, I guess. Don't let people be upset with you, because it'll just reinforce and allow them to become more upset with you. So, that's that. Anyway, common fallacies. I thought that was a really cool slide. So, next time, let's talk briefly about the assignment. Next time we're talking about forming personal relationships. Before we finish, I want to talk a little about the assignment for next week. It's due next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. What I want you to do is I want you to pick a song. Now I've given you a couple the activity that I gave you a couple songs. You can pick those, or there's a couple websites here on the activity that you can pick other songs and find lyrics. So find the lyrics. That doesn't count as your assignment, finding the lyrics, but find some lyrics and talk about what pick an emotional concept that song kind of illustrates. So here it says, identify how the song you've chosen illustrates your emotional. So pick an emotional concept and identify how this song illustrates that. And then write a one-page Times New Roman 12-point illustrates response. Post it to the discussion board. Post it to the Dropbox. And like I say, that's due next Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. All right, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully everyone has a good week. I'll probably post another module number 8, probably Friday, maybe Thursday, maybe Saturday, but probably Friday afternoon. Anyway, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.